Hello. We're taking the hobbits to Isengard. Yeah, I put the wrong option in. Right, so let's just make sure this is going to work now. You need to hide. And I think you need to come up here. Oh, is it going to fit in the box? There we go. Hello. What's a hobbit? So, guys, we're playing a new game here. Let me turn this down a little bit. So today, there is a new Lord of the Rings game made by EA and a couple of other developers by the looks of it, called Lord of the Rings Heroes, and it looks like a hero collector style Lord of the Rings game. So if this is the first time you've ever been on stream, you know that I am an absolute Lord of the Rings nerd. I'm huge into Lord of the Rings. So the moment someone said to me, hey, there's a Lord of the Rings games and you can collect Samwise Gamgee, I'm like, I want to make Frodo destroy the Saurons and destroy the Nazguls and destroy all of them. So that's what we're doing. I've not played this at all yet. This is a first playthrough. It has been in beta for a while, like 6 months. So, you know, I know other people played it. There's like a website out there for a tier list and everything. We were doing some research yesterday. But hey, we're going to see what it's like. This could be a terrible game. It could be a fun game. But so far, it looks pretty cool. I'm going to use the in-game audio here a little bit. So, can you guys hear the in-game audio? Is that coming through? I have no idea. Let me have a look. I need to turn it down a bit. Oh, it's a bit loud. It's Frodo! Strider. Okay. Oh, it's a bit loud. Let's turn that down a bit. Okay. So I am a big... No, I'm doing CVC in the background, guys. It's fine. So we're going to play this for probably about a couple of hours, see how it is, and then we might do about an hour on the free-to-play for CVC and stuff. So yeah, so I'm a huge Lord of the Rings nerd. A true Lord of the Rings nerd would be able to speak in black speech. I do struggle with black speech a little bit, Greffin. It's not great for me. Isn't it like something like Ajnaz Umbagul? I can never say it properly. I know a little bit, not much. It is Android and iOS only by now. And this, by the way, guys, is not a sponsored stream. I'm not paid to do this stream. I just love Lord of the Rings, so we're playing it. The Nazgul approaches. So we're on Weathertop here, I guess. If you feel the power your ring emanates, it gives you control over these heroes. Okay. You feel a calling to select the ring. Okay. All right, can I improve the graphics here? No? Okay. Maybe it's just because I'm playing this through BlueStacks, and I don't normally use BlueStacks, so probably the graphics quality is a bit poor here. Okay. Got it. Yeah, pretty obvious. So it looks like you got like a similar kind of thing with Raid, where it's like, you know, turn meter bars, his health bars, his skills. We completed wave 1. Have I played Marvel Strike Force? I haven't. Fighting the Black Beast here. Not Frodo. It's mean to be up. Oh, hello. Whoa. That's violent, that is. I gotta say, they hit Frodo like 5 times, and he just went and like stabbed them a little bit. He hasn't even got Sting yet. Oh. What? Hello? Oh, it's not happening. I guess we're skipping that because the game is not liking it. Okay. We jumped in all of a sudden. Eärendil. If anyone doesn't know Eärendil, technically Eärendil wouldn't be able to speak to you. Eärendil is in the skies, but hey. Eärendil is the North Star. A protector of Middle-earth. Do not worry, you're safe in. So, as we're playing this game, we'll probably comment on every little bit of lore that they butcher in to try and fit them into a gacha-style game. Basically, Eärendil cannot speak to you. He is in the skies already. I'm guessing that's their, like, Silmaril they put on his chest. Or maybe they just thought it would be cool to do it. He's not a protector of Middle-earth. Like, he's already protected Middle-earth. Yes, okay. Long ago, I invoked the aid of the Valor to defeat the great enemy of the both elves. Yes, okay, yes, he did. However, the price was I can no longer return to Middle-earth. Correct. Now, danger has come in a new form. Stories which must be told are unraveling, and shadowy figure has emerged. Okay. Only you and your Ring of Power can mend these rifts. I mean, we're already breaking the law because, let's face it, Frodo doesn't use a Ring of Power. Okay. Shards of these heroes are like memories, fragments of Middle-earth that you can draw together with the power of your ring. With enough shards, a hero can be pulled through. Okay. Oh, look at all these. Bolg. Why would I want to summon Bolg? He's a bad guy. We're going to summon Strider. Use the ring to summon Strider. Oh, hello. I don't know if I can improve the graphics quality on BlueStacks here. Let me have a look. I mean, it's in pretty good. It's in, like, graphics. I mean, I don't know. I've never used this. We'll have a look. It looks pixelated because I think it's being played through BlueStacks. Got Strider. Oh, now we're bringing Frodo. What is the name of the game? This is Lord of the Rings Heroes of Middle-earth. Okay. We're following the tutorial at the moment. There are many stories to correct in this book, but we should return to where I found you. You must ensure Frodo survives where the top... Okay, so apparently we took an interjection out of there, and now I have to go back and save Frodo. Yeah, it's going to be cartoony. You know, some of these mobile games are like that. Oh. Orcs. Okay, get your weapon ready. Okay, Frodo and Strider ready. As you gather more heroes, you'll have more to choose amongst your collection. Okay. Tutorials are always a bit like play the game. Okay. What's this? There is still hope. Whenever Strider crits, grant stealth for 1 turn to the most wounded hobbit. Okay. Attacks the target for 110% damage. If Sam is an ally, attack again. Okay, I'm gonna beat him up a goblin. Mordor Taskmaster. Annihilated. Okay, what does Strider do? Attacks the target, burn in. Okay, well, I'm just gonna beat up someone with... Go on, Strider. Boons and Banes affect the character stats. Do in combat. Person select. Boons are green icons. Banes are red icon. Okay. I mean, he's going into some sort of dark matter. I really need to look at the graphic quality. He's like invisible. Like, the graphics here are going to be pretty bad because I can't figure out how to use BlueStacks. I'm playing it as an emulator. What I probably need to do is figure out how I can, like, play it on the iPad or something and get the iPad on my OBS. Fiction may be able to help me with that one. Victory! Okay, well, you know, these are going to be easy. Oh, we get some, what's this? Gems. Some experience. A nice little bit of parchment. Pretty cool. Level up. Guild energy increase. Campaign energy unlocks level 3. Quests. Okay. They haven't released the Windows Android thing yet, have they, Dutchy? I know they were talking about making Windows 11 be able to run emulated games. I'm sure it must be something I can do in here in terms of, like, graphic quality. I mean, it's got the high memory allocation. It's got all the cores. It's got high performance. It's got everything going. So I'm not entirely sure what else I can do to make it look more like what it should, because I don't think it looks like this normally. Yeah, I'm in the BlueStack settings, but I can't see it. Like, you can tell it's not like how the game's meant to be because it's BlueStacks is messing up. Ooh, some of the heroes are natural leaders on the battlefield. They have an additional skill which assists their allies when working together. The solid crown denotes Stoic as an active leader. Only one hero can lead, okay. So you're kind of seeing, like, there are similar elements to Raid here, where, you know, you collect heroes, you create parties, you do waves, you fight. I'm sure there's more game modes that we're going to get into. Once I get out of the tutorial, I'm going to have a look, see if I can find some game settings, because, I mean, the only thing I've gotten here is music and sound effects. Oh, there's a 2 times speed. 3 times speed. Oh, look, they've got a 3 times speed. Whoa, Speedy Frodo. Raid, take note. Look how good 3 times speed is. 3 times speed. Is it like that, Zed? Is the game graphics actually like that? Where it's like a bit pixelated. I'm loving 3 times speed. I know, right? Look at that. Annihilation. Okay. I know Lady Adwen, but this behavior is out of control. We must make haste to reach Rivendell before our enemies return. Well then, Strider. Also known as Aragorn. Also known as Thorongil. Also known as other names. Is there auto battles? We're still in the tutorial. We'll find out. But it's already pretty... I mean, the graphics look a bit dodgy, but that could just be... As I said, I'll have to download it on my phone to see. By Ule the Smith. Ule, yeah. You've acquired valuable materials that can be crafted into gear. Let us know how this improves some of your heroes. Again, so you're seeing it very, very similar to a lot of these gacha-style games. Ooh. First, we must craft these materials into equipable gear. Each piece of gear grants benefits. Now let's equip the hero. Okay, excellent. As you continue, you'll obtain digital and more powerful materials. Okay. So there's crafting. Cool. While you have been addressing corrupted storylines, I've been gathering supplies to assist. However, in order to maintain the stadium, I'll require some resources. Got it. This will take place in the store. There's a store. Oh, God. Oh, look. Lady of Rohan Chest. The Lady of Rohan Chest has heard your call and wishes to help you. Okay. Of course there's a store. Ooh. I've got 15 Lady Eowyn's. I'm guessing that's fragments. That is a very masculine looking Lady Eowyn. I'm not going to lie. Loot boxing! Oh, God. We've made it 5 minutes and it's already gacha. What do we got then? Ooh, heroes. Spend gems to get and characters. Bonus chest. Ooh, I can claim a bonus chest every 4 hours. Okay, that's free. Wilfwyn. Who the hell is Wilfwyn? Okay, so that's not so bad. I mean, you get one of those. Cool. All right. Ooh. I'm using my ring to summon Lady Eowyn, who looks extremely masculine for a lady. Ooh. A bold and valiant shield maiden of Rohan. Eowyn is a highly trained defensive fighter who supports and protects her allies. Best with these other people. Okay. All right. What else do you want me to do, Arendelle? Ah, you've completed a daily objective. These tasks can be favorites. Okay, so we've got dailies. Seeing a pattern here. Welsh Hobbit. Maybe a Welsh Hobbit. Wilfwyn. Okay. Oh, leveled up. Okay. Loot boxes. I don't mind there's loot boxes in there as long as it's still a decent game. Like, the only thing I would ever say about Lord of the Rings, they can make whatever they want about Lord of the Rings as long as they don't destroy the lore. That's the problem with the TV show. They decimated the lore. So as long as they don't decimate the lore, it's fine. They can do whatever they want. Loot boxes are a thing. We know this. Nope. New data. Got it. Thank you. Hello. Just want to complain. Okay. Can I change my name? Can I make an account yet? Or you still got me things to do? Oh, you've fought bravery and you've gathered up enough hero to level up one of your heroes. Oh, look at all these. Frodo is a fine choice. I don't want to level up Frodo. I want to level up Samwise. Samwise is the hero. We do not speak of the TV show. This is correct, Jomnoms. We do not mention the word Rings of Power. Ooh. Note that each character can only be as powerful as your connection to your Ring of Power. Okay, so you can't get more than your Ring of Power. Fine. Which I'm guessing is your overall account level. Oh, we've completed another quest. Claim. Thank you. What else now, Irene? Oh, share your progress. So I can connect it with Google Play. Continuous guess for a second. I want to make sure I can link it because I might play it on Android, you know, on iOS. Okay, how do I? Yeah, I can change my avatar. Yeah, okay. Player profile. Oh. Welcome to Middle-earth. Log in for 7 days and unlock the Great Goblin. Okay. Oh. Frodo Baggins. Well, I've already got Frodo Baggins, so is there some sort of, like, empowerment system? That's cool, right? Yeah, I now actually want to just go into, like, my settings. Okay. So, is it, like, cross-platform? Yeah, I know it's Amulet there, but what I meant is if I connect it with Google Play, can I then go on to iOS and, you know, take it with me? Link through the settings menu. Time settings. Privacy. Yep. All this kind of cool stuff. Well... No, I know that, but what I meant is, if I connect it with Google Play, can I then go on to iOS and connect it from Google Play? Probably not, right? So that's what I'm trying to figure out is it like playable on both Android and iOS? Is my question. Which I do not know. We'll connect it with Google Play Store for a second. I don't really want to do that. Oh, well, that's a bit bad. I mean... Oop, what have I done? Because that's a bit rubbish, because if I want to play it on iOS, then I can't. I broke it. Am I back in? Oh. Ooh, look at all this. It's fine, I guess I'm only ever playing it on BlueStacks for the time being until they change that. You'd think a game as big as a developer as big as EA would understand that you might want to play it across devices. Let me ask the Discord. Let's see what they say. Ask. It's crazy. I mean, surely that's like, I mean, that's what Raid do, right? Raid, you basically log in with the player ID. Wow, the graphics are a little bit screwed. Oh. Okay. I don't really want to be called a transient chariot. What the hell is that? Just do that for a sec. It's fine. Create. It is official licensed, yes. Oh, for God's sake. Fine. Just let me in. Oh boy. Yeah, fine. Cool. At least it's linked through Android. It's a bit rubbish you can't link it, but let's see. Okay, so what have we got going on over here then? We've kind of got out of the tutorial now, which is kind of cool. Oh, we can claim this. Oh, we leveled up. Okay, so we've got a companion auto win. Auto wins, it must be auto battlers. There you go. Let's change our name. What was that? Oh, login dailies. Got to keep it in the lore for this one, Arthurian. Got to keep it more Tolkien-esque. We can't use our normal... What has happened to these pictures here? Pretty problematic. Okay. What we got going on here? Okay, so... Reach level 7 with Strider. Do lots of different things. Got it. New collection. Lady Eowyn. Oh, we can level her up if we want to. I guess we... Wednesday. We're doing a special stream. So I guess we've got to level up Strider, are we? Or we can take him all the way to level 6. Let's do it. I've no idea what that did. Oh. What can we do here? We can craft stuff. No, we can. We can craft one of these. Whatever those are. Right, I feel like we should be following some sort of quests here. So who can we actually collect? Let's have a look. Yes. Chat, go away. Oh. So we can get Bolg. It's kind of cool. Wilfwyn. Who the hell is Wilfwyn? Light human Rohan attacker. So the random Rohan chick. How many heroes are there? Oh, it's a fair amount. It's like 40, about 40, I would say. Who have we got? Let's see if we can notice anyone. None of those we notice. Samwise Gamgee, also known as Sam for some reason. Samwise Pippin Took. Why have we like shortened their names? Nuraz, Morza, Merry, Brandybuck. Pippin and Merry are in there. Killy. If anyone's watched the The Hobbit, you'll know of Killy. Philly should be in here somewhere, I'd imagine. Philly, there he is. Eothane. A Rohan. Oh yeah, 46. Good point. Eomer. Elrohir, son of Elrond. If anyone didn't know, Elrond had two sons. Elrohir and Elnadan. Edric. Ealdred, probably a Rohan dude. Ugluk. The Great Goblin, Shagrat. Halbarad, not Halbrand. Halbarad, not Halbrand. Halbarad is the guy that helped. He is the chieftain of the Dunedain. Not the Dunedain, the Grey Company. Not Halbrand Sauron. Let's not go down that path. Halbarad was a very important character for Aragorn. So, I mean, they haven't actually got that many. Okay, so what's in my inbox? I've collected these. Cool. Can I summon something? Arena, adventures, play. Can I summon something? Where's the summoning portal? There isn't a summoning portal. God damn it. I guess we're playing something anyway. So let's just win. Let's keep playing then for a bit. It's in the store. Well, that's you buy stuff. You can't. That's not the summoning portal, is it? That's not actually where you summon them. Okay, let's continue. We must hurry to Rivendell. Something has happened to Lady Arwen. I don't know what's happened. Okay. Can I use Lady Eowyn? I can. Let's pull out Lady Eowyn then. I'm not a massive fan of playing BlueStacks, I've got to say. It's really laggy when I use BlueStacks. You know, I've got Raid in the background basically playing. At the same time. Which I'm just checking what I need to do. I'm going to do tag team. Okay, sorry. Let's go. Whoa, ×3 speed. What does Eowyn do? Grant 1 might for 1 and a random turn. Okay. Oh. Okay. Wave 2. You are not yourself, Arwen. Why is Arwen, like, consumed by darkness? That never happened. We've reached our first law-breaking moment. Why is Arwen on Weathertop? She wouldn't be. Why is Arwen on Weathertop? She wouldn't be. Anyway. Frodo's beating up Arwen. What the hell does that mean? How do you click on this? It doesn't tell me what it does. I'm trying to click on it. Unless I need to right click. No. Okay, well. I don't know. So, basically, Aragorn just blew up his future wife. Not entirely sure how. Oh, there you go. Okay, long click. Thank you. Focus is increased by 50%. Okay. So yeah, I'm not really sure how this works with the law in the sense that Aragorn just kind of beat up his wife, but there you go. Victory. Okay. Well, we beat we beat Arwen. Let's see. What else are we doing? Like, I'll be honest. Why is Eowyn on Weathertop? I can understand you collect heroes, but why am I using Eowyn to beat up Arwen on Weathertop? That is like mind-bending. Oh. Okay. It's very basic at the moment, but you'd expect that with a new game, right? They don't want to overwhelm it. Feels very much like the game is playing me, not I'm playing the game. Oh, burnt. Frodo's a nasty little thing, isn't he? Whoa. Aragorn's going mental. I made a list of all the potential chances my clan boss team collecting with all... I'm surprised Trumbull popped up so often. Yeah, Trumbull was really good, actually. When he was added to the fusion, I actually earmarked him as a really good champion for, like, if people couldn't get the legendary Trumbull, because you can... The good thing about Trumbull is you can transition him after you don't need him anymore to actually be a decent damage dealer as well. Do you think it's worth saving Ancients for Michinaki style guaranteed? I'm still holding on to my Ancients, Tommy, like, until something comes up. One day, maybe. I'm still holding my Ancients. Okay, so we're on the path to Road to Rivendell. Have we done any quests? Oh. For new ring bearers only, spend some money and get yourself a Samwise or Pippin Took. Okay. So it looks like it's very much a fragment style collector, right? Where they're going to pump you full of offers early on and then like you can buy these things if you want to. I'd imagine that's not a very optimal thing to do. So I get £100 then coming up soon, right? I mean, you kind of know what you're getting with these games, right, surely? Like, you know that these things are going to be a bit pump and dump, right? Can we increase Strider's level? Oh, loading. Yes, we can. Strider's level 7. Let's take Frodo up, shall we? I assume there's no cost for this. Or the cost is very small. Hey, Tahoka. Not doing too bad. We're playing a new mobile game that's come out today. Because it's Lord of the Rings. I got to. I have no choice. Yeah, there is a cost. But I feel like it's very small at the moment. So it doesn't feel like it's a mistake to do it. Could be utterly wrong. I feel like I need to giga charge my Strider a bit more. Okay. I'm guessing you can level it up. What's this do? Ooh, attacks all enemies. Oh, so you get abilities when you... Okay, this ability unlocks when character reaches gear tier 3. Okay. So I can craft some chainmail and equip it. I've made Strider's pipe. Didn't know Strider needed a pipe. Oh, I'll give him a mallet. Loves the journal. Oh, I need to find a lamp. Oh, whoops. What is all this? Hang on. Alright, well, cool. Didn't mean to do that. So he's a gear tier 1, because I'd imagine I need to... How do I upgrade? Well, I can do that. I can craft another mallet, but how do I upgrade his spots? Doesn't really tell me. We'll figure that one out after, shall we? Yeah, it was just showing me where everything came from. I figured that out. I'm giving tongs to Eowyn. Okay. Yeah, I mean, all these games are kind of similar. I mean, it's not like this. It's not like it's breaking new ground here. We know what we're getting when we play these types of games. At least I have actual like materials to upgrade this, unlike Raid, where I've run out of silver already by now. By now, I've basically put one piece on my gear and I've run out of silver. I've run out of satchels, okay. Hey, cat. Alright. Well, we did a quest. That gives us more... Oh, we got a lamp from a quest. There you go, look. There was the lamp we needed. So we can give Strider a lamp. So we commit. So we're making a flask out of a lamp. Not really sure how that works. And we need a belt. Yeah, I mean, there's no. So far, there's no theory crafting, right? So whether or not that changes in the future. Oh. Okay, yeah. So every time you complete the 6, you go up a tier. And then you just craft again. So it's basic. Oh. Oh, that's handy. Thank you. That's handy. Okay, so he's gear level 2, which we can't really get heroic charge till he's gear level 3. What do we need for this? Oh, gear will be available at level 10. Okay, I'm not high enough level yet. What do I need here? Oh, I need to find another worn ring. Okay. Okay. I mean, they are pay to win. Of course they are. I mean, the idea is then they get, you know, as much money out of you as they can. Okay. Well, let's just carry on, shall we? Oh, I pressed the wrong button. Let's go. I feel like my characters are going to be like Giga Start. Yeah, so there's like an auto win battle there. Well, come have a look. Okay. Let's go there. Whoa, we're smacking now. Don't even go. 200 now. Hey, drop the game. We completed it. Ooh. All right, mate. Oh, Arwen's back. Angry wife is back. Yeah, it does feel a bit unpolished, I have to say. Like, it's hard to tell whether these are the actual design. If this is the actual assets that you're getting within the game already, it's pretty poor from a development company as big as EA. You'd expect them to be, you know, a little bit better. Like, if these are the textures, that's not great. I mean, it ain't cheap, right? You look at Amazon, look how much money they spent to make a TV show. It's not cheap to buy the rights. Lord of the Rings IP is one of the most in-demand IPs in the game, in the world, so it's going to cost you a lot of money if you want to make anything. Oh, we got waves now. Oh, no, we don't. Never mind. I thought we had waves. This thing looks awful. Oh, we're killing Arwen again. My bad. Who owns the IP? It's a development company called... It's a big Nordic gaming conglomerate. I don't know what their name is, but they bought the rights to it, and they've got 5 games in development. There's one coming out soon, which is like a Gollum RPG, where you basically play as Gollum. There's another cool one coming out, which is... it's like Rust, but for Moria. You basically take dwarves, you join your friends, you have to like survive and craft and different things. I think that might have more potential. Success. Yeah, I mean, it looks dated, but it's hard to tell whether that's just because... If that's intentional or not. Rivendell is still days ahead of us. I don't, but I was looking at it. I saw a trailer for it the other day. I was looking at similar games. But it's got the Moria game is basically a bit like Rust, where you basically have to craft and survive and rebuild Moria. You can play with friends and stuff. It looks really interesting. I don't know when it's coming out, but that one looks more interesting than, it's not a mobile game, it's a Steam game, so. Yeah, I know it's been in beta for a while, hasn't it, Oxlane? Yeah, Return to Moria, that's the one. It's like Raid, this is basically. You basically collect heroes, but I would say it's much more basic than Raid, right? Raid's got a lot more depth so far. I still feel like I'm in the tutorial still. I don't feel like I've got out of the tutorial yet. Strider, I've been stabbed. What is happening? We're not on Weathertop anymore. Lady Arwen's under an enchantment. I mean, I think EA is just publishing. I gotta say. I think this is EA's got their name on it, but I think they're just publishing. I don't think they developed this game. Yeah, you can select which enemies hit. Why have I got 3 stars here? It's just glowy for no reason whatsoever. It's only come out today, SRH, by the way. That's why you've never heard of it. Yeah, Capital Games. So Capital Games is part of... It's part of EA. But I'm pretty sure like the game who the rights for this has been bought by someone like Empower or someone they're called. I don't remember what it's called. Just checking now. Embracer. So Embracer basically has acquired the rights to Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit to produce, you know, whatever, I guess. I mean, Embracer basically bought Middle-earth Enterprises, which is part of the Soul's End. What you got to understand about Tolkien rights and Lord of the Rings rights, it's very complicated. Parts of it are owned by various different people. So like Saul's Ents owns the Lord of the Rings, the Third Age stuff, but the Silmarillion is owned by Tolkien Enterprises, I think it is. And then you've also got Middle-earth Enterprises, which is a branch of Saul's Ents, which is the marketing side of it. It's very confusing. Boom. Yeah, so like Saul's Ents has the rights for the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit, but not the rest. And Saul's Ents is the ones that licensed it to New Line to be able to make the films. And they also licensed it to like Lord of the Rings Online, a bunch of other things, card games and stuff like that. So it looks like Embracer bought the entirety of Saul's Ents, which is quite big. So Embracer is now the owner. And they're the ones they own like THQ Nordic, Plyon, Coffee Stain, Amplify, Game Invest, Saber Interactive, DECA Games. They're like huge, Asmodee. So it's kind of like, it's not solely, I guess it's not solely EA. It's hard to tell. It's a bit of a mix and match. It could be that EA's developed it on the back of like Asmodee, I guess, or something like that. So she will not bow. Oh, she's back. She's back. We've saved Arwen. We've beat her up enough. Oh, nice castle. Congrats. I mean, yeah, so you can select other people here. So that's kind of cool, I guess. Put some might on someone. Should you bother with it? It's too early for me to say, basically, at the moment. I mean, I don't really know. I mean, I will be honest, it's basic. Okay, if you've played Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes and you enjoyed that, you probably enjoy this. Battle of the Bruinen. Yeah, it is, Castle. The Witch King. Okay. Like, fighting is really straightforward a bit. It feels like, at the moment, it feels like the game is playing me, not me playing the game. So... Awake, fear, fire, foes. Yeah, it looks basic, doesn't it, what when? It's weird, I mean... I give every Lord of the Rings a shout before I actually decide, but... Like, you see what I mean? The game is kind of playing me. I'm not making any sort of impactful decisions. I'm just pressing go. Oh, we got 3 waves on this one. The ring, the ring, the ring's on fire. You're at level 10 and it's do you have good gift? Yes or no? Okay. Oh. Oh. Elrond has made an appearance. Ravenous Gloom. Ooh. Elrond. Who's this? Villiers Light. I'm gonna assume that's Elrond. Ooh. Oh, you died. The Blade of the East is no more. Elrond. We must heal Frodo's wound. Okay, I don't know who you are. I just casually fought the Ford of Brunnen with Lady Eowyn just hanging about. Don't really know why. Hey, John, how's it going? Okay. Oh, this hard mode. Okay. Oh, hard mode. Only hard mode. You have exclusive character shards. Okay. Well, first things first, I want to collect my quests. Thank you. And I get a bonus Strider fragments. Okay. Don't really know what those are for. I haven't quite figured them out yet. Claim this. Level up. Level 8. Guilds unlock at level 10. I'm not level 10 yet, am I? Haven't auto won those yet. Okay. Inbox. Once you have beaten a campaign like you automatically unlock these hard mode. Okay. I have no idea what that energy bolt is. It must be energy to play the game, I guess. Yeah, is it? Time. What's Venax doing in Middle-earth? Venax actually does, right? We can level him up now to level 8. I guess we can craft a journal. Can't do anything else. Frodo got to level 2 with his ring. Look at his little ring there. So let's auto run a campaign to see what happens when we do that. Oh, there's an objective here. 14 hours before I can do that. Let's auto win some campaign battles. It's a quest. Why is that giving me a notification? Oh. Gold. Okay. Red dots. Oh, look how many of those. I just want to run 3. What would this be if we had this in Raid, right? I've done campaign once, just auto run it 20 times. Saved me my entire life cycle. Claim. Ooh, level 9. Claim. Okay. Well, I guess I've done those quests now. I can't do those for another day. Or they reset in 2 hours. But I don't really know where you summon things. It doesn't feel like you can summon. Unless it's like the number below. Like 10 of these fragments, is it? Hero chest or return to Osgiliath. Okay, so you get the fragments from the heart. Got it. I think I'm making sense now. It's making sense to me. But obviously we can't unlock any of these other things. Like Arena doesn't unlock until 20. Guilds at 10. Adventures at like 14. Supplies 18. So, you know, you've got a few levels to catch up. So, and I'd assume this is really hard. Let's see if I can actually play the game rather than the game play me. Nope. I'm going to get one shot by an orc child in hard mode. Oh, what's this dude? Oh. I got Earthane. Cool. No, I don't want to summon him right now. I don't want to summon him right now. Strider's Chad, right? He's proper Fenaxing it up. Okay, well, we'll just take out the Witch King. Ooh, he's tankier. Okay. Ooh. Oh. What's this do? What's a passive? Okay. Uh-oh. I actually have to think. I might actually lose. Witch King's down. Oh, Lord. Oh, Eowyn died. No, what are we going to do? Let's take him out. I mean, it is hard mode, right? So you'd expect probably you shouldn't be doing this until you've finished normal. Let's just try that. Oh, nearly. I did it, just. Hey, Gort. We only got 2 stars, though. Oh. Okay, well. I guess you only get 3 stars when you get the actual champion. Right. So now I should be able to summon Eothane. Okay. I guess we've got an air thing now. I don't know, Gore. I'm kind of like it feels basic at the moment. It feels like you don't have much decisions, I would say. Like, you're basically just pushing buttons. Like, you see what I mean? I'm just like clicking things because I can, not because I need to. I mean, I don't think I'll spend any money on this, I'll be honest. Yes, that's the thing. The time has come. Why is Galadriel now? Oh god. Why is Galadriel haunted? Oh, they're still running. We've got a bit of a bit of a running problem right now. Oh, she stopped running. Oh, there you go. Yeah, it doesn't make sense lore-wise, right? What does this do? Gains 2 stacks of provoke. Okay. Don't know what it does, but he's provoke. Oh. 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 I'm not entirely sure what that did, to be honest. We're killing woodland elves for some reason. I'm not really sure why. But we are. I don't know why we're killing elves, but we are. Who are we fighting here now? A woodland sentry. Not a very good one. We're in Lothlorien for some reason, and we're fighting Galadriel, who apparently has been corrupted by some weird power. So now we're beating up the woodland elves. I don't really know why. If one tries to make sense of these things, one will struggle. I'm not sure anything could be worse than Rings of Power. At least this is kind of concept of like they got corrupted and you're restoring them. I mean, in the Rings of Power at the moment, the whole Lord of the Rings storyline can't happen with the current writing of the Rings of Power. Because Isildur's dead, apparently, according to the Rings of Power. Don't get me wrong with that. Okay, she's angry. Oh, I've been granted Elrond. Okay. Oh, I've no idea, Kessel. we accept it, okay? Oh, whoa, okay. I think we're going to need to do this. Well, we killed one. Don't ask me how. Oh, he's so nearly dead. God, the difficulty creeps up a bit, doesn't it? Well, he's gone. He's back. Earthin's back. You, John, I was upset with the Rings of Power to an extensive. Like if you look back on one of my original live streams, you'll see how upset I was with Rings of Power. I think I went on for about 2 hours about how bad Rings of Power was. Wow, Elrond's not that powerful, is he? It was, yeah. I mean, Raid has a lot. The thing about Raid, and what's quite funny, is half the time people will say, oh, I really wish Raid did this, and I really wish Raid had that. And it's like, a lot of the times, it's things you don't actually want, but you think you do. I'd love a ×3 in Raid. I think you can see the value of having something that goes faster. And like maybe more auto battle options would be good. That basically means we don't have to watch it. But you can see like how much depth the Raid has compared to this type of game. Like I'm basically just pressing go. The game is playing me here. Like stealth is literally pixelated invisibility. What the hell is that? The thing is, Kessel, as much as Raid is pay to win, it's not really pay. I wouldn't say Raid is pay to win. What I would say is Raid is pay to progress. But once you get to the top level, it's pay to win, right? You can see with the free to play series how many people have completely, you know, they're doing all types of content. They haven't spent a penny on the game. Some of them have no-lifed it for sure, but you can basically play the entire game without actually spending a penny in Raid, which is, you know, compared to something like Diablo Immortal, where you literally couldn't, like, you could play the game, but it was pretty much like you hit a wall where you had to stop paying for stuff because you couldn't actually physically acquire something without spending. In Raid, you can pretty much play the entire game without spending a penny. If you want to win in top arena, then it's pay to win. Right? If you want to really compete at the top echelons of Raid, then it's pay to win. But if you're not too worried about that, then you can play Raid without any problems. Why do I feel like I'm going to lose this? Because these look like they're smacking me for some significant strengths here. Oh, she evaded me. Mend that one. I feel like Earthin's about to die. Oh well. We don't have a revive now. Yeah, like the biggest thing with Raid tends to be people like, oh, I really want to get those champions. And then you go and play something like Eternal Evolution, or you play something like Awakened Chaos Era. And what they tend to do in those games is like they appeal to those questions by basically making it like, oh, here's a new champion. You have 300% to get this champion. And what you ended up with is a system where everyone got all the OP champions. They were like, okay, now what do I do? There's nothing to play the game for. Whereas with Raid, I feel like there's so many champions that you could want or don't have that you're always playing it for a reason. You know, I'm still playing my main account 3 years on. I still don't have half of the really good champions. So There are things that Raid can improve. Definitely things like reward structures, quality of life improvements in terms of time, and just general, like, the way that they implement things could be done better. You know, like, why do we need Tag Team Arena where you only get good rewards if you're gold? Like, those sorts of things could be improved. But generally, they do a great job in terms of keeping the game diverse. Like, they always try to at least make it... Like, Finite Hard is probably the first area where it's, like, physically impossible to achieve it unless you have one team. Outside of Finite Hard, you can pretty much beat up all of the content with any sort of number of champions. The diversity of builds is what makes it really good. There are obviously some champion teams and everything that are so strong that, you know, you'd be like... Oh, this is looking a bit... sketchy. There are obviously some champion teams that are way stronger than better than others, and obviously champions is a power curve. You know, these things exist, but generally speaking, just about beat that. You could pretty much complete the game with various different strategies. I got a branch. But Raid also have an MVP in the graphic artwork. I feel like I'm struggling now. And you can see now they're moving in more of a direction that League moved into, right? Riot moved into a direction with League of Legends where they created an entire universe, a lore. They put in things like... they put in the like the arcane stuff and all the different events. They're moving in that direction. Not entirely sure where I should be focusing now because I am struggling to stay alive a little bit. Done all these, so there's nothing I could do here. Objectives reset in 2 hours. Don't know if that's a daily thing or quests. What have I got here? Reach level 10 with 2 characters. Well, I've got to reach level 10 overall first. Unlock 1 shadow character. Get 1 stars on mission 1-1 in guild campaign. Well, I haven't unlocked guilds yet, so I need to get to level 10, I guess. Yeah, gear is right. Yeah, you're right. I need to... Where doth one acquire? What am I missing here? Well, I can craft... Oh, gear will be available at level 10. Oh, I can't make the pipe yet. Okay. Oh, I can make that. So I need to get a worn ring. Where am I going to find that from? This. So just auto-win one of the... I don't want to auto-win all of them. No, I found it. I want to craft the damn thing. Oh. Another ring. I don't even know anything about the new dwarf. I don't even know if it's a dwarf. You're all guessing there. I have no idea. Hey, there we go, level 10. We've unlocked guilds and guild campaign. We'll have a look what that is now in a second. Once we finish crafting. He needs one of these. Yeah, you see it, but we don't know for sure, Grat, because the shoulder pads are a bit weird. You don't know it's a dwarf. We're all guessing, right? I did look in the game code. There's nothing there to suggest any sort of login when it's going to start or anything like that. So I have no idea. But I'd imagine they're going to tie it with May the 18th. You would imagine, right? I'd imagine it's going to start on May the 18th because that would be a Thursday. So a week today is when it all comes out. So I imagine that's what they would do. Okay, he's level 2. Oh, we've got a new thing. We've got Heroic Charge now. We've got an AoE ability. When does this? When we get gear tier 4. Obviously now we've got to find all this stuff. Wait, what? Can't equip that to level 13 anyway. Well, that's pointless. Why are you telling me I can go find it then if I can't make it? Stupid thing. Frodo's level 3. What's he got now? Gain stealth for 1 turn and attack target. Okay, cool. Next up is Eowyn. This is the problem with this type of game. There's no diversity. Everyone's doing the same thing. People in chat have pointed this out. You're basically doing exactly the same thing everyone else does. And then you gain a few things like you've got Break the Cage here. Cleanse 2 Banes from self and 1 Bane from all allies attacks the target. And then per Bane cleansed, I guess. Whatever Bane is, we don't really know what that is. Oh, we can upgrade skills now. Oh, okay. Well, that's the thing. We'll have a look at that in a minute. Obviously, he needs gear. We're going to have to farm that. So Strider's levels can be... Oh, we need more. I feel like we should be waiting for this. New champ should be Saf the Ally Protector. Thanks for the super chat, Grendel. Can you imagine if it's an Ally Protector? Can you just imagine the scenes on my free-to-play? I swear to God, though, if it's an Ally Protector after I've just made a level 60 Myrmidon, I'm going to lose my mind. I feel like this is needed. Right, we basically get level 2, deal more damage. But we're going to go into these. Where do we get this from? From quests, from those Trouble in the Plains. Oh, we get it from guild campaign. Okay, right. So that's the thing we have to look at. He will be level 60 this evening. We'll probably play this for another 25 minutes, give or take, and then we'll probably jump onto the free-to-play. I might just restart the stream. Just set up a new one. Okay. Oh, we got level up rewards. Okay, fine. Thank you. Claim. Oh, claim. Cool. I don't know what I'm claiming, but I'm claiming stuff. Oh, I saw something pop up and I lost it. Okay, I can upgrade push through. That's a good decision. I don't really see the need to this. That's kind of pointless. What does Eowyn do? Oh, well, she has crit chance. Rohan squad members gain 50% crit chance. Okay, well, it's only good if you're a Rohan squad member. That'll help him. What does he get with gear 3? Attacks all enemies. Ooh, well, we'll try and get him up. Okay, then. Let's go get some satchels. Oh, that's cool. You can jump around. I mean, their menu. So as much as the game's a bit basic and that their graphics are not great, the actual UI and the moving around is actually quite good. You're not having to like go back a lot. Like from this position here, I can select the next slot. I can go find it. It's telling me where I can get it. I can auto run battles from here. So in terms of like just moving around the place, it's actually quite good. You got to give them credit for that. They've thought about making players' lives easier. Yeah, it's a little slow loading the menu. Yeah, the server is obviously probably getting pummeled because, you know, everyone's playing for the first time. The graphics are questionable. Show strength. Nice. Okay. Yeah, the transition between waves is slow. Oh, something in the inbox. Oh, I got to join a guild now. Okay. There's 46 champions by the looks of it. From the collection, 46. There's telling me a new... a one-time offer. At least it doesn't say, like, you know, 99% off. Oy vey. Just for me. Look at all these just for me things. Treasure hunter bundles. You're right. So guilds. Riders of Ragnarok. The Ent Spire Strikes Back. Just Ukraine. Ring Wraiths. Competitive, okay. Bag End Muggers. Oh, what a name. Jetson Squad. Should I create a guild? Anyone who wants to join me? Should we RP it or not? You want me to RP it? Okay, hang on. Let me think of something. How many characters can I have? Can I do that? There you go. Whatever. Minimum level. Whatever. Public. Cool. Select tags. Roleplay, social, and teacher. Let's edit the banner. Well, there's not really editing the banner that's picking a banner. I mean, we'll go with a bit of Gondorian feel to it. There we go. Anyone who wants to join me, have a look for Doom of Orodruin. Or I can invite people. You have no pending invites or incoming requests. Members. I don't know. Oh, search. Allies. Or you can make allies. It'll be Frodo, right? Naturally. Invites. I mean, can I make friends? Oh, I don't know, 36. You just joined. Can I troll in this game? Probably. Hi there, Sip. Oh, look at all these people. Wow. Whoa. I don't know if everyone is... Are you guys all the right people? How can someone who was active an hour ago just suddenly join? There was an invite code somewhere. It doesn't appear to be. I guess you just join. Is that you? says you're only active amount. I'll go. If anyone is in chat wants to join, Doom of Orodruin. If anyone doesn't know what Orodruin, go read the lore. You'll figure it out. So now that I've done that, does that mean I can play like guild campaign? Yeah, you can set requests, but I mean, might as well leave it open. Oh, I know what you mean. It was up here, right? Wasn't it? It was like, I know what you're talking about. Wasn't it like... Oh, I can change this up. I mean, I'm not really enthralled with any of the picks. What the hell? Is he wearing like rubber ducks on his head? What the hell is that? We'll go with that one. That's more interesting. I think it was up here, right? Account. Yeah, there's an ally code. I've no idea what you do with the ally code. Copy the ally code. No idea what you do with that. Yeah, it's fine. Welcome, Chifire. Wales of West March. Yeah, that's good. That's good as well. I like that one. Yeah, it's open for a bit. If it fills up, I'll do something about it. But hey, I'll leave it open. It's fine. So basically, that means now we should be able to play guild campaign. I have no idea what the guild campaign is. We'll have a look. Oh, look. Let's go to battle. You sent a DM screenshot of the Android mobile version. Yeah, I agree, Dreadnought. I think BlueStacks is obviously pixelating it a little bit because obviously it's an emulator, right? So there's going to be a bit of a thing with it. So yeah. It is quite fun, right? So what do I do here? Guild ally. Well, I think I should pick Eowyn, Strider, Eothin, Frodo. What's the guild ally for? Guild allies. Well, I can't pick anyone. So I can't use my own Strider or my own Frodo. Oh, well. I guess I'm not using the guild ally. You guys need to put up more different champions. The Krakens of Khazad-dûm. Yeah, they probably got that name from a certain place. It's actually surprising, Grenda, when you look at all of the histories and all the different stories and all the different things, how much Tolkien influences pretty much every fantasy trope in the world. Even as crazy as like Harry Potter. We're fighting the Dark Lord. It's funny how the hero is also the small boy. You see what, like the characterizations? It may be wizarding and magic, but the same storyline exists. What's this do? Gain 1 stealth. Oh, so we have to build up a certain amount of turns before we could do it. Okay. Well, I think we'll just... We're killing Gondorians now. I don't really know why. But we are. What masteries did I go for Razelvarg? Did you put any turn meter to increase or can mess up speed turns? I would, if you're using him for Clan Boss Raka, you do not put any of those arcane celerities or anything like that in. Don't go for Cycle of Magic. If you need it for a Clan Boss team, you avoid that completely. You also avoid counterattack masteries if you need it, because obviously we can get Oglug. We'll have a look at him in a minute. If you're going for counterattack masteries and you're going to gain turn meter, it's probably going to break it. Now, if you've got counterattack as a buff, the calculator for Dead with Jedi will calculate it. But if you don't, then obviously problems. They're doing new movies, Timothy. They're doing 3 new movies. They've announced them. They're not remaking. They're making new ones. Don't ask me what they're going to do. Peter Jackson has acknowledged the existence and has said they're looking forward to it. All right, Strider. You go beat up the field medic. This got a lot harder all of a sudden. Go beat up him. What's the special power of Gandalf the White, the Grey, and the Law? He is a wizard, right? He is one of the Ainur. Ainur? Or is he Maya? I always mess. They have different names. Basically, he is a lesser Maya. Or lesser Valar. I always mix them up. Followers of the Valar, which are like the gods of Middle-earth. And Maya. Yeah, they also use the word Ainur from time to time. I always mix up Ainur, Maya. They may be both. But essentially, they were sent by the Valar in the Third Age to assist the Free Peoples of Middle-earth against Sauron. Which is why Gandalf appearing in the Rings of Power is a massive lawbreaker, because the Rings of Power is technically set in the Second Age, not the Third Age. So why are the Gandalf shouldn't exist in those? There's no... The wizards just don't arrive in Middle-earth until the Third Age. So... Sauron is a Maya as well, yes. So Gandalf was of equal power, technically, as Sauron. However, they were, like, varying degrees of strength, right? If you think, like, Lord of the Rings is kind of based off the histories of the way that the Greek gods and the Roman gods were structured, right? I mean, they had gods... The Valar basically had certain roles that they were good at, like Aule the Smith. You had Orome. You had what's the other one? I always mix one. The big bad guy in the First Age, Melkor, Morgoth, is kind of like Satan a little bit. Like he's the god of... He's a bit like Satan mixed with Mars, the god of war. So they all kind of have like roles, and then beneath them they had Maya, which kind of were followers of the Valar and were attracted to the traits of each Valar. So Sauron was originally Orome's Maya, I think. I think he was under Orome. I always mix up the craftsman. But he was tempted to Melkor's path when he wanted, because he was like, Sauron is attracted to crafting and like the refinement of those sorts of things. Yeah, something like that. I think that's probably... There we go, look, I can use Mahor. They're not like... Yeah, so they're not peacekeepers per se, Hasib. They were an order of wizards that were sent to assist Middle-earth because the Valar decided not to get involved anymore after the Second Age and the First Age. They basically decided not to get involved. They retreated to the island of Valinor. But at the same time, they still wanted to help the Free Peoples of Middle-earth, I guess. So they sent the wizards to guide the Free Peoples of Middle-earth. What does this do? Okay. I don't know if Balrog's a character here. Like, even the Balrogs were Maya. Yeah? Balrogs were Maya. That's why Gandalf could fight the Balrog, because they were equal strength in terms of power. And also, technically... So elves never die in Middle-earth. Even when they die, they go to the halls of Mandos, I want to say. I messed this name up as well. So they can be resurrected. So in the Second Age, the First Age, you hear a lot of Glorfindel. Glorfindel reappears multiple times, even though he dies. In the Rings of Power, you kind of had a bit of a hint towards... They were trying to hint towards Glorfindel with the elf at the tree when they were talking about the creation of the Mithril. Like, that elf that was fighting was kind of like a bit of a homage, I think, to Glorfindel. Not that it was accurate in terms of lore, but... See, originally the Balrogs were part of the army of Morgoth in the First Age. They kind of butchered a little bit in the film, the name. They brought a name from the First Age, and that big... when you're watching the third film, the battle where they use the battering ram, the name of that battering ram is actually the name of... I'm pretty sure the name of the Chief Morgoth, the Chief Balrog. I want to think. I think it is. Remind me now. Grond. No, it's not. I'm not thinking of Grond. I'm sure something they pulled through was named after... it was named after one of the chieftains of the Balrogs. The name is eluding me. The thing about a lot of people don't realize is the depth and the lore and the history. Oh, hello. It's a bit lethal, wouldn't it? Just backstabbed him. The lore of Tolkien, once you get beyond the Third Age, which is the book, The Lord of the Rings, the film, The Lord of the Rings, there is a hell of a lot of depth in the extended works, the Silmarillion, the Children of Húrin, the Silmarils, the Fall of Gondolin. You've got all of the awakening of the dwarves, the awakening of the elves. You've got the battles of the First Age. You've got the things like the Oath of Feanor. There's so much like depth that you can read into. It can really like there's so much reading to do. Like the depth of there, and that's not even going to all of the actual like things he did write. Who was the leader of them? This name is going to bug me until I know what his name is. Bedros. Yes, it's Glaurung. No, that's the dragon. What is the name of the leader of the Balrogs? The chieftain of the Balrogs. It'll come to me in a minute. Gothmog. That's it. So the lieutenant that you see on the battlefield in the Return of the King, when they fight in Minas Tirith, he's called Gothmog. Technically, the name of Gothmog... I lost someone, did I? Who died here? I don't know. Gothmog was the leader also of the Balrogs, like the Chief Balrog. So, yeah, the battering ram was named Grond, and it was named after Morgoth's warhammer, named after Morgoth's weapon, yeah. But Gothmog is a name that gets reappeared in different places. Oh, look. They're really hard to get into. Yeah, I remember like the last one he released was The Fall of Gondolin, and everyone's like, oh, it's a new Lord of the Rings book. They read it, and it's like, why does this read like an essay? And it's like, well, a lot of the books are a collection of notes and scriptures that J.R. Tolkien wrote that Christopher Tolkien, his son, arranged into basically a narrative or a timeline that made sense. Okay, so I guess we've got an Uruk. I'm not really sure what we do with him. I don't really want Ugluk. Can I upgrade any gear? What can I do with this thing? No. There is still hope. Yeah, I mean, he was famous for basically writing things on bits of paper as he was going, right? He'd have like breaks between his lectures and different things, and he would... he'd like write scriptures. It's famously that he wrote the title... in a hole, there lived a hobbit. That kind of phrase in the middle of a lecture, basically on the other side of a lecture. What's the difference between Melkor, Morgoth, and Sauron? So, Melkor. Now, I always get this the wrong way around. Melkor was renamed Morgoth after Melkor destroyed the light of the two trees by the elves. So Melkor was his Valar name. Melkor was a Valar. He is basically as powerful as a Rome, which is the most powerful Valar. And when he along with Ungoliant, who is the mother of Shelob, the spider, drained the light from the two trees, the elves renamed Melkor Morgoth, which I think in Sindarin translates to something else. I can't remember exactly what it was. It translates to what does it translate to? What does it translate to? It translates to something in Sindarin. Now it's either Manwë. I always mix up Manwë and Orome. One of them is stronger than the other. What is his name? Yeah, it means something, and I will remember what it is now. Yeah, so Melkor means he who arises in might, and then Morgoth is black foe of the world. So Feanor, when he drained the light of the two trees, basically made him rename them. Now Sauron is a Maiar, a lesser being, not a Valar, but he was lieutenant of Morgoth when they went over to Middle-earth. So basically, Melkor got into bad trouble in the first age, whatnot, got arrested by the Valar. In a really bad way of explaining it, got arrested by the Valar. The Valar basically chained him up for a little bit. He then said he was forgiven. They unchained him. And then when he got unchained, he used Ungoliant, which was another Maiar, to basically drain the light of the two trees, which was, you see the light of the two trees in Rings of Power, right? When Galadriel is talking to her brother, Fingolfin, or Finrod, whichever one it is, you see the light of the two trees. They drain those and flee to Middle-earth, and he also steals the Silmarils. Silmarils are one of the most important objects in Middle-earth lore, and it's kind of obnoxious to me that in the Rings of Power, clearly they don't have the rights to it, they basically skimmed over the Silmarils very quickly. They're trying to allude to the fact that the Silmarils are what created Mithril, which is bonkers, but there you go. But the Silmarils were basically crafted by Feanor. Feanor was one of the first elves, one of the high elves, and he crafted the Silmarils, which were crafted from the lights, and they were basically pure light. And Morgoth was obsessed with them, basically. So he drained the light of the two trees, stole the Silmarils, and ran to Middle-earth, and that's where the elves left Valinor to wage war in Middle-earth, and that's kind of like the first age. And then there was a series of battles and everything in Middle-earth. Eventually, Sauron was in charge. He was a lieutenant. He was lieutenant of Angband, I think, or something like one of those areas. Loads of fights, loads of things. All the big, like, if you imagine battles in Middle-earth, it's like 10 times the scale. You had Balrogs, you had dragons, you had, thousands of armies. You had, like, Fingolfin fighting dragons and all sorts. It's crazy. And then Melkor, the Valar basically intervene in the end. Erandil, the guy we saw in this game, Erandil goes and basically goes and begs the Valar to come and deal with Melkor. They come across, they defeat him, and then throw him into the void, into the abyss, so he's completely gone. And Sauron flees, and that's kind of where Rings of Power picks up. And Rings of Power, and Sauron kind of takes over a lot of Melkor's power. So that's kind of like the difference between the three. Which is why when they're doing Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power, and they wanted to do Second Age, they have to explain Melkor and Morgoth, and they didn't. All they said was, Morgoth's a big bad guy, now we're going to go hunt Sauron. Like, Fingolfin and Finrod never hunted Sauron. Galadriel wouldn't have hunted Sauron. It's not the same thing. Like, Sauron didn't kill them. They were all, like, obsessed with trying to regain the Silmarils. There is a fourth age. Oh, look. We're progressing some of this. Did you get a Founders Pack? I've been in and out. I got really expensive packs. Yeah, and Gullion it devoured herself in the end. In the end of all things, and Gullion eventually devoured her own self. Such was her. It's written basically. Such was her desire and hunger. Eventually, when all light was consumed, and Gullion devoured herself. Complete 10 guild battles. Okay, well. I think we'll just do a little bit more light campaign, shall we? Let's see if we could do this on 3 now. Yeah, exactly. So the prologue, Kessel, was really important. This is why when you watch the film, like if you ever go and watch the documentary series of how they made the original films, they spent a lot of time stressing over the introduction prologue. Because they basically were saying, we've got to introduce thousands of years of history and enter you into the world and drop you in deep very quickly, whilst also not taking up much screen time. So they did a very good job explaining how the ring is relevant, how the ring passed into legend, into myth, how it was discovered by the Hobbit Gollum, or the Riverfolk Gollum, and then how it corrupted him. You got an idea of who the big bad guy was, and you got an idea of who the big players were in the Elven era, right? You got everything you needed. But what you lacked... but obviously you had to do that in 10 minutes. They did a very good job. What you lack in the Rings of Power is they don't really explain Melkor. They don't explain the First Age. They don't really explain the battle. They don't explain the Silmarils. Like, you have no concept about any of these things, which are so important. Like, the Silmarils are, like, fundamental to everything. And the reason why I say that is the Oath of Feanor is a very important history for Elven history. So the Oath of Feanor was basically a pledge that the Sons of Feanor, there's about 8 of them or 10 of them, made, that they would stop at nothing to regain the Silmarils. And when I mean stop at nothing, there's multiple kinslayings where they killed their own folk, their own Elvens, who stood in their way. I think you see elements of it they're trying to touch on it a little bit, but they don't really explain it. But the Oath of Feanor basically sets out the disruption and sort of problems within Elven history, because the elves start infighting a bunch of other things. It also touches into the history of Beren and Luthien. It touches into the history then of Eärendil, because Eärendil has one of the Silmarils. It's why Morgoth fled to Middle-earth. It's why the elves went after him, because of the Silmarils. It's kind of like the original Ring of Power. But not explaining it means that when you drop straight into that storyline, you kind of know Morgoth was a thing, but you don't really know the reason why he was a thing. So the problem with Rings of Power right now is, firstly, the Rings of Power were forged 1,000 years before Elendil and Isildur and Anarion existed. Oop, killed someone. We're fighting Rivendell people. I don't really know why, but we are. So you've already got a problem where technically the Rings of Power were already in existence for 1,000 years before you even got to Elendil and Isildur. Now, obviously, they were touching on the fall of Numenor, a very important chapter of the Second Age, which is important, but it's kind of like it's all been really super compressed. Now, it's fundamentally impossible for Isildur to be dead. I'm doing spoilers here. If you haven't seen the TV show, I'd stop listening. But they've basically left Isildur dead in a barn. Now, if Isildur is dead, Aragorn cannot exist. Gondor doesn't exist. Isildur doesn't keep the ring when they're fighting Morgoth in Middle-earth. Fundamentally speaking, they've tried to create this trope that Isildur might be dead or something. He's not. He physically cannot be, because the entirety of the Lord of the Rings books cannot exist if he is dead. It just physically can't happen. I have played Crusader Kings a bit, yeah. So now technically they did a really good job explaining some of the history of the orcs in terms of the heritage of the orcs. That they were elves that were taken by Morgoth, Melkor, and corrupted. Okay. So they did a really good job casting that. I think the main fundamental problem is, to be honest, throughout all of Tolkien's writings, he never really, there's never really a situation where you feel sympathetic towards orcs. He's not, he sees them as industrialists, destroyer of nature, evil creatures. that you shouldn't feel empathy for. Gollum you feel empathy for because he's a good character corrupted by bad things generated by the bad people. That's why you feel empathy for Gollum. But you read anything, you never see there's like, oh, well, we feel really bad that we just chopped that orc's head off. By the end of The Rings of Power, I felt more like emotional connection with the orcs than I did with anything else. It's like how, they made Galadriel look like a whiny schoolgirl. God knows how. So they humanized the orcs quite a lot, yeah, which is, I'm not against them doing it, but at the same time, it's not how Tolkien would have wrote it. What happened to its counterattack? Frodo is a bit of a menace, really, isn't he? I wouldn't want to mess with Frodo. I mean, to be honest, it wasn't even, they didn't even make her like a strong female character. I mean, they just made her like, it made her seem like an inexperienced diplomat. Like, keep in mind, right, at the time of Rings of Power, Galadriel is over 3,000 years old and has been in the courts of Melian, who is a Valar. She's basically seen as one of the most powerful elves and one of the most well-respected elves in all of the kingdoms of elves, along with Gil-galad. Yet Gil-galad was sending Galadriel off on her own merry self. Like, Gil-galad wasn't above Galadriel. They were of equal power. Same as Elrond. Elrond would not be a random lord that gets invited sometimes to the council. Elrond was considered one of the, he was the banner. He was basically the, what's the right word for it? Basically, it's not the right word. The spokesperson of Gil-galad, right? He was the banner caller, So when they were in the TV show, it's like, oh yeah, Elrond's not allowed in. It's like, Elrond would be there by default. So the only thing I think they did really well in the Rings of Power is they nailed the dwarf and elven relationship between Elrond and Durin. They nailed that really well. The true question is, do you think that Tom Bombadil existed before Eru created the universe? I mean, we don't really know the origins of Tom Bombadil. I would imagine not, because obviously Eru Ilúvatar sang the world into existence along with the Valar. So, I mean, he must have created them at some point. Maybe he's like as powerful as Eru, potentially, but it's hard to say. Like, there's a lot of mystery behind Tom Bombadil. We know he's obviously one of the most strongest beings in the world of Tolkien, but we don't really know a lot of details about him. Boom. It's not true to Tolkien, however. I actually think it's a better story that way. Real conflicting characters, not just good and evil, black and white. I'm not... Yeah, that's what I said. It's not that I feel like frustrated that they humanized orcs. It's more the fact, Kessel, that they basically made the characters you would expect to be humanized to, you didn't like. You know, you kind of got pushed off from Galadriel and Isildur and all that kind of stuff, although Isildur was a bit of a grey area. And then they made it so that you actually felt a lot more for the orcs. I mean, I'll be honest, the whiny kid that basically picks up the sword, I had enough of him by the end. And there was also a lot of plot lines that just had actually zero value. Like, we're going to go save the Southlands, and there's like 20 people. Like, he's the king of 20 people. And it's like, okay, This basically the whole plot line could exist and you could never go into the Southlands and it would not have mattered. Will I play Diablo 4? Yes, I will. I've already pre-ordered it. I got to play it this weekend to get the new cosmetic thing. They got like a server smash where they're basically trying to see if they can break the servers. So I got to play that to basically get the cosmetics because, you know, I'm a collector. Oh, these eventually are going to go down. He's a bit nimble, isn't he? How do you feel about Disney doing a new Aragon series? I think it can't be any worse than the film. Although I think they had good characters for the film. I feel like they got good actors for the film, but I feel like they messed the storyline up. Yeah, I'm... Like, when I say I'm a Lord of the Rings nerd, I am a Lord of the Rings nerd. Yeah, Tom. Good old Tom. It's actually one of the main complaints that people had in the film, the original film series, was they cut out Tom Bombadil scene with Frodo and Sam when they're going through the Barrow Downs. But I can kind of see where Peter Jackson was coming from, because he basically said he decided that Tom Bombadil didn't help Frodo get to the mountain. So in his head, the storyline was, how does Frodo get the ring to the mountain? And if it wasn't relevant and it didn't actually matter, then we... Oh. What the... Oh, we got Samwise. Samwise is here. What does this do? Okay. So I think he basically said that anything that didn't result in Frodo getting to the mountain was potentially cuttable. So I can see why he did do it, because like the hard part is you've got to commit screen time to explain who Tom Bombadil is. That's a lot of work. It's hard work. Yeah, exactly. Jeremy Irons was great. I think the character, the actress they cast for Arya was really good. They just kind of messed up the film. Will there be a HH clan for Diablo 4? I know Fix is probably going to be playing it, so we probably will set something up. It may not be super official, but we'll set something up. Yeah, exactly. It's a lot to explain Tom Bombadil. What do I think about The Hobbit? I actually don't mind The Hobbit. A lot of people dislike The Hobbit. There will be raid in a bit, Rez. I probably will jump on it in about 10 minutes, give or take. The thing about The Hobbit is New Line, the film production company, decided for some reason they wanted to have a bit of a vendetta against Peter Jackson. So they went and got Guillermo del Toro to do it. And Guillermo del Toro spent about 2 years developing it, whatnot, blah, blah, blah. And then halfway through, he just decided it was taking too long and decided he wanted out. And so they went back to Peter Jackson. And Peter Jackson was like, well, I've now got to basically make this film work with no pre-production. Keeping in mind, he had spent 5 years in pre-production for the original trilogy. So it's not like it was a simple, I can just, you know, sub one thing out. And you can see it. What ended up happening is he probably depended too much on CGI to get it done in time, because CGI was quicker, where he actually preferred more realistic props. I mean, when you got to remember, like the first trilogy, they physically built the Golden Hall on a mountain. That wasn't just CGI long distance. That was physically them in a helicopter. They found a mountain that fit the description, which is a golden hall surrounded by white crested mountains. That's a kind of butcher in the exact quote, but it's very, very specifically quoted in the book what he wanted. They found that mountain and they physically built the hall from scratch. Whereas I think in The Hobbit, they probably did a lot more CGI. They wouldn't have built as much. I mean, even to the extent that because it was a protected wildlife, they basically had to take the grass down, maintain the grass in like greenhouses, and when they were finished, they had to put them back. They built Hobbiton from scratch, you know? They spent about a year building up Hobbiton. So The Hobbit got a lot of dislike for two reasons, in my opinion. One, he didn't have enough time to prepare for it, and two, the Hobbit book is harder to adapt than the Lord of the Rings book. Oh, this shadowy figure. The storm has begun. Oh, Galadriel's angry. Because in the original trilogy, the book is much easier. So much like the timelines are a bit weird in the book because essentially you go forward, then you go back, then you go forward, and you go back. It's a matter of arranging. That's the challenge with the original, the Lord of the Rings books, is how can you arrange it into a film timeline? Because technically you get all the way to like the mountain, and then you go all the way back, and then you follow Aragorn's path, and you go different places. Whereas with The Hobbit, there's lots of different gaps. Like Gandalf just vanishes halfway through The Hobbit and then makes a reappearance. And you can't really have your main character just like casually piecing out and coming back. And that's kind of the problem. That's why they had to bring in elements of the Silmarillion, the extended works, and bring in like the Necromancer. They were all lore accurate, but they just weren't in the Hobbit book. And a lot of purists didn't like the fact that they brought in elements of the storyline that weren't in the book. But I think it's just the nature of what the book, like it's a kid's book, right? It's a lot harder to adapt, in my opinion. It's funny, some things like, obviously if you have never read the books, you wouldn't know some things that happen. So like technically, by the time the Rohirrim arrive at Minas Tirith, Theoden King is already dead. Theoden King is not it doesn't lead the charge, the final charge at Minas Tirith. That's led by Éomer, who becomes Éomer King, or whatever they call him. But obviously in the books, they made Theoden King as this like redeemed hero, yeah? So they wanted him to be like have this character arc where he came from the darkness and could return to his forefathers' halls in honor after suffering from Saruman. They probably over-embellished that a little bit, so that's why he leads the charge. And it does work from a filmmaking perspective, right? I think one of the greatest scenes in film production is that ride of the Rohirrim at Minas Tirith. It's huge. Yeah, Benedict Cumberbatch was a great cast. I said, I think they, like, in terms of the cast for the Hobbit, they nailed Bard the Bowman, I felt. Luke Evans is great as Bard the Bowman. I think they found an amazing Bilbo. I don't think they, like, some people disagree, but I don't think you can find a better Bilbo Baggins than Martin Freeman. I think he nailed it. Obviously, Ian Holm was the original Bilbo. Would have been too old for the Hobbit, so they couldn't go back to him. But I think he nailed, they managed to nail the casting. The shadowy figure better be powerful to be controlling Galadriel. I just feel like the Return of the King is too rushed. Have you watched the extended version? So if you really care about the films, you cannot watch the theatrical releases. You have to watch the official, like the extended works. Okay, you have to watch the whole thing. It's like 12 hours. Good night, Acrobat. Especially like the first one, the Fellowship of the Ring, you get so much more additional context. You get a lot more additional context in terms of Boromir and Faramir's relationship with his father in the second one, with the extended works. And the extended version is just like, you get a lot more context between Arwen and Aragorn, Arwen and Elrond. You just get a lot more. You've got to watch the extended versions. It's 12 hours long, but it's so worth it. Interesting fact for you, the technology used to animate CGI was developed from the software that animates Sully's hair in Monsters. Ah. The actual, the software that they used for the battle scenes, they didn't technically CGI the Uruks in both Minas Tirith or in Helm's Deep. They developed a piece of software which was AI. So they basically developed a bit of software where they could independently create a system where each character would react depending on what it was attached to next. So they didn't actually CGI the battle scene. They made the characters independent objects which actually fought on the battle. So you're getting a realistic feeling. It was actually something they developed and created for the film. I think they were working in conjunction with Star Wars at the time, because obviously the original trilogy of Star Wars was being developed at the same time and they were using different technologies. So the level of technological advancement that came out of the Lord of the Rings series is huge, because they still use that same software in Weta Workshop now. In Avatar 1, the different spinny creatures and all those things are all developed by that software. Yes, it's basically a little bit where you lead armies, yeah. You're stuck in some weird taunt thing, are you, Grat? Do you need BlueStacks for this on PC? I always get the blue screen of death when I try and install. You can play it with any emulator, Voku. It works on Android or iOS. Yeah, I can't remember the exact name of it. All I know is that they developed it exclusively. Like it was created and innovated for the film. Like both Star Wars and the Lord of the Rings were one of the first companies to start using digital pre-visualization. So where they would actually like pre-visualize the film in a digital setting. Time Commanders was great. Yeah, I remember Time Commanders. They used to get like celebrities and different people or different, and you'd have to like direct it. And they actually used the Total War engine for Time Commanders. It's not the same engine. Total War basically used the Total War game. If you've ever played Rome Total War, that's the game engine they used. Adapted from. Yeah, Massive, I think it's called. Yeah, Massive. Multiple agent simulation system in virtual environment is basically it's not really CGI, it's an AI tool in which they use to generate the battles. So each individual agent on the battle could interact and they could configure it with other agents on the battle. So if they saw an elf, then they would interact if into when they saw an ally orc. Very, very clever technology. Very, like, for its era when you think it was at the turn of the millennium, very, very, very good. I remember playing Total War back in the day, and I used to. Have you heard the Helm's Deep AI story? Probably. I'll need more context to know which one you're talking about. I remember when I was playing Rome Total War, I basically built an army, which was a couple of centurions, 10 units of elephants, and then like 4 catapults. And my siege battle would literally be I destroy all of the walls with my ballistas, and then I just send in the elephants. It's so funny. It's very efficient. Okay. Strider's getting a bit strong, isn't he? He just one-shot the wave. So we'll finish this campaign and then we'll probably play a bit of Raid for another hour or so. They remastered, if you haven't seen it, they've remastered Rome Total War. So it's basically the original game, but they remastered it a bit. Do you know they're creating a Rome Total War mod for Total War Attila, so you can play Lord of the Rings Total War? You can do it now. There's already one. It already exists, Liam. I've never played it, but I've seen a lot of it. Yeah, that's it. I remember there was a big, if you've ever, like, I have the original DVD series, so I have all like the back behind the scenes and all the documentary that they filmed alongside it. And I remember the technology. You can see that how they cloned them and how they characterized them and how they configured each individual one to behave against different things. So they basically created one of the world's first like AI systems, and it was a complete innovation for it. It's what put Weta on the roadmap for a lot of people when it came to visual effects. That's why Weta Workshop to this day still is one of the most popular and most favorable companies for it. I mean, he built Weta Workshop Studio for the film. It's hard to actually put into figures how impactful and how like major Lord of the Rings was for New Zealand at the time. Pretty much half of, I'm pretty sure like a quarter of the entire employable New Zealand workforce are working on on Lord of the Rings at some point, whether they were blacksmiths or whether they were extras or whether they were craftsmen or working on the film sets or something of that nature. They had the army come in and build roads for them. It was crazy. Saf, I have no idea what the Shadow Legends part of Raid's name even means. Do you know? Not really. You can see they're trying to go down the Riot path now of building a lore for the game. They've been doing a lot in the last 6 months of like whenever you see that a new champion gets released, there's always a lore that follows up with it with more animated visuals and different things like that. I mean, they might end up trying to force it too hard and people won't care, because fundamentally I don't even know what the campaign is about. I think you have to start there. Yeah, exactly. Like, what's this? Rivendell's defended. I can summon Elro here. No thanks. Much of things happen in the game is shady and unknown, hence Shadow Legends. Yeah. Oh, Battle for Middle-earth 1 and 2. One of the best games ever, right? Do you remember playing the old PlayStation 2 type of games when the films came out? They had like the you went through the campaign, and then when you finished the campaign, you had to go to this like tower defense kind of thing, and you'd go up 20 levels, and you'd fight different waves of mobs, and you can use different characters. I loved those games. It was so good. If I played them today, I'd probably think, what a terrible game. But back then, they were one of the best games. They were so good. Ooh, Mahu. It doesn't look like Agent Smith, right? One of Ugluk's top lieutenants. Okay. It wasn't tactics on PSP. It was basically like the old PlayStation 2, like whenever a film came out, they used to make a game for it. It was like Return of the King and the Two Towers. I think it was the Two Towers. Maybe do a reaction. I generally don't think there's much info in there. I don't think there's much news. Like the artifact set's okay. New legendary hero, cool, until I know more details about it. I don't really know I have an awful lot to talk about. We might talk about it in a second now when we jump over to the raid bit for this. The proportion of this. So yeah, we finished that storyline. Did you ever play Third Age? Oh, do you know what? Third Age was amazing on PlayStation, right? It was a bit like the old Final Fantasy. It was like Lord of the Rings meets Final Fantasy. There's nothing in the code, Kevin. I had a look today. Because normally I see it in advance, so they're learning, I think. Yeah, the Third Age game was basically Final Fantasy meets Lord of the Rings. It was so good. I really loved that game. Should we try to do hard again? I mean, this game is not bad. Is it like super advanced? It's not got a sniff on Raid. You know, I wouldn't go, I'm going to stop playing Raid to play this game. I'll probably play the campaign through. I'll have a little bit of fun with it. Will it like be a game that I can see me playing long term? Probably not, because I think it's got a limited lifespan. There's probably not a lot of content once you get past the campaign. have this. I can AoE now. Yeah, I mean, the perception set does make me consider that he's more of a debuffer style. The other thing I would say as well is, because it's not a named individual, it's likely you'll be able to summon the champion after the free period. It'll be a bit like, what champion was it? Like Deliana, right? You'll be able to summon her after the fact. You have any nostalgia? Do you know what? I need to find... There is a way to do it. I'm almost certain there's a way for you to acquire like a PC version of the Third Age. I might like get that one time and just play it for fun. Not the Third Age. Sorry, the Two Towers and stuff like that. The old PS games. They actually started as well. I don't know if anyone in chat played Lord of the Rings Conquest. It was like an AoE like... It was like a multiplayer battle game where you basically fought in places like Helm's Deep. You would take on a character and you'd fight a bit. It's kind of like a... What's the right way? It's like a bit like a battle royale style thing. And EA ran it for a while and then shut it down. And then they've been developing a remastered one. I don't know if they're still able to do it because they got hit by a DMCA. But you can literally walk around Helm's Deep in it. It looks really good. They're basically remastering Conquest in Unreal Engine. It's like called Conquest Reimagined. They did just get recently hit by some DMCA stuff, so I don't know like what the impact of that's going to have on them being able to continue. But it's really cool. Yeah, I mean, I've no idea what the storyline is, Dutchy. They lost me when Galadriel was fighting with some shadowy figure to beat up Elrond. They lost me at that point. Victory. I've no idea what I do with these gems. Yeah, I think it did. I can't remember which one had the tower, Garm. One of them had the tower. Pop chests. Can you actually... What, you mean the 600? Is that what you use the gems for? Did I check the Guild Allies things? I don't know. I'll have a look. Let me finish this. Oh, it's lagging. Let's just take him out. Let's take him out. Wave 2. Gems is for energy. Okay, right. It's a bit like raid then, right? I guess eventually I'm going to start running out of energy. I gotta say though, I don't feel like so far this game has been like heavily pay to win, right? It doesn't feel like they're throwing it in your face so much that you have to buy something. It's not popping up like raid pops up every 5 minutes. You know, by now in raid, I would have had like 1,200 packs of various different profit margins, and then it's popping up something new for me. I've got daily progression unlocks. I've got everything, you know? They just keep throwing it at you. I don't really feel like this game has done that. We're powering through this. I already quit because you can predict the next 500 hours. But yeah, I mean, look. Is it the most engaging, crazy game in the world? No. If you really, really, really like Lord of the Rings, you probably will play it a bit longer. But you're not gonna quit games for it. I'd imagine they'll release it, try and get some income to continue the support and development of the game, And in about 4 months' time, they'll have a lot more game modes out, right? A bit like Eternal Evolution did, where they started adding loads of different things over time. Awakened Chaos Era did. So if they're successful in terms of keeping like players engaged, then I think that's what will happen, is in a month's time there'll be a lot more content. Oh, they are smacking a bit now. Yeah, I mean, it looks terrible. It's going to look worse on here because I'm playing on an emulator, though. It does look a little bit better on normal Android. It doesn't look as pixelated on normal Android. Mine just looks pixelated here. You go. You stabbed him in the butt. Harsh. I need an AoE from Aragorn here. Getting pumped up here. Can we... Right, he's down. He's down. There you go. Victory. It's kind of like, I said I'd stop playing like 20 minutes ago. I kind of can't stop pressing buttons. Whatever happened to Away is Kicking Here? They had a bit of a weird development cycle where they stopped developing the game a bit. I just got fragments for someone called Herendil, from a brave archer from Dol Amroth. Dol Amroth is a Gondorian city. You didn't see it in the film. Very important city. Who else do you get here? Yeftu. A Haradrim guy. Okay. Well, I think that's a good place to stop. Yeah, it's probably not the best graphics in the world, and I imagine they'll improve it over time, right? But, you know, we've got a few. Decent level of people here already. I don't know what the guild situation is here, whether I need to keep going. Oh, we do get Pippin soon. Look, you get Pippin there. And you get someone called Gaz Ironhide. So yeah, I guess you just like... I don't know. You keep going. A level 10 there. So it's slowing down in terms of level acquisition. Unlock 5 light characters, can't do that yet. Win 1 mission on 1-1 in the Shadow campaign. I don't even think I've unlocked the Shadow campaign. Claim 90 energy. Pretty sure I haven't unlocked the Shadow campaign. You need to complete the light to 3, 1 and level 12. Okay, well. So yeah, I mean, these are going to progress on a little bit, I guess. So we're going to leave it there. So yeah, that is Lord of the Rings, Heroes of Middle-earth. Alright. Not a bad game. I'll probably play a bit of it, see how I go, get all these things unlocked. Maybe there's some things that just improve it over time. But, you know, it's not game breaking. It's not like it's going to like change the entire world. It's not like it's the best Lord of the Rings game that's ever been released, because that's obviously Lord of the Rings Online. And it's not the best mobile game. But it is at least... I will say it's not like it's so pay to win that you can't play the game unless you buy this £99 pack, right? It's not like shoving it in your face. They've done a pretty good job of making... I think the UI is quite good. Like, Raid could take a few tips on the UI, right? Being able to basically jump to different things without having to come out of scenes. So if I'm in here, for example, I can go to different people here. If I want to find things, I can go and just click find here. If I want to find different pieces for different things... You know, they've done a pretty good job of, like, navigating. The gearing is pretty basic. It looks like it's what everyone wears. You know, it's pretty much like, go farm this, get this, win game. The game kind of plays itself, but we'll see how it adapts as you go forward. But, yeah. So what I'm probably going to do now is I'm probably just going to end the stream here. I'm going to spin up another one and we're going to play Raid probably for another hour and a half to 2 hours as well. Just so that I can change some of the configuration around and just go stretch my legs for 10 minutes. So what was the name of the guild again? The name of the guild was Doom of Orodruin. Doom of Orodruin. I'll be playing it probably. I don't even know if I can redirect you. Can I redirect my own video? Let's have a look. Hang on a second. That's a good idea. It's a good idea. Hang on. Go live. Hang on. I have to schedule it first. Clan versus... Damn. Okay, so if I schedule it for like, what is it, 10? Can I type in 1040? I can type in 1040. It just took me on a... Yeah, I mean, 13 is not enough. Right, okay, so if I now edit this and redirect to here, look at this. Look at me being a professional streamer. Save. Cool. Right, so I will be back in about 7 to 10 minutes and we will play a bit of Raid. So, yeah. That was Lord of the Rings, Heroes of Middle-earth. It's not a bad game. Could be better, could be worse. Graphics are a little bit weird. Catch you in a bit.